man. So like you said, man, we gotta talk about what is it, week 4? And we talking about who's the best team in the NFL already. This is insane. Like we ain't even really get to like week 5 or 6. They say this still the preseason. This the aftermath. This the after party of the preseason that we got going on right now. But some teams are separating themselves from the pack. I gotta use this hashtag Kev. It's separation Tuesdays because that's exactly what happened. There's only like 3 or 4 teams that's undefeated right now, but one of them say they feathers ahead of the competition. So birds of a feather, they flock together. Are the Eagles the best team in the NFC? And I know Dave want to touch on this topic because he's the last person that want to say anything nice about the Eagles. So I'm gonna let you go second, Joe. What you got?
All right. So, are the Eagles the best team in the NFC? You got some good news, Dave?
No, keep going. Keep talking.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Are the Eagles the best team in the NFC? They have the best roster in the NFC. I will say that. They got the best O-line in the NFC, one of the best D-lines in the NFC. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC, right? They also got one of the best, not best, but a very good running behind the offensive line. They got 2 number 1 wide receivers, a good tight end. Why are they the best team? No, they're not. It's the 49ers. I'm going to get David Flowers today. The 49ers are the best team in the NFC because when you look at the 49ers, right, let's look at the coaching by itself. I believe that the coaching between the Eagles and the 49ers is like a mile. I mean, I think that coaching staff that they have over there in the 49ers is like no comparison to none. All right, Kyle Shanahan, probably the best play caller. I know everybody give Andy Reid a lot of hype, but we got to remember Andy Reid got Patrick Mahomes. Kyle Shanahan is doing this with people like Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo, stuff like that. All right, so he's one of the best play callers in the NFL. And then that defense, I mean, just came off number 1. Right? When we saw another defense, the Eagles had probably a better all-around defensive roster, but the 49ers came out to still be number 1 last year, and this year the 49ers are repeating that cycle they did last year. So I would say the 49ers are the best team in the NFC, and the Eagles are second. I would say the Eagles are second, though.
Dave?
No, they are definitely not the number 1 team in the NFC. We are. Man, come on now. I understand they're 3-0, but who was 3-0 first? We were. We were the first 3-0 team. We dominated the Cardinals on Thursday night. We dominated the Steelers in week 1. Those are 2 games we won by 10+ points. Do the Eagles have that many this year so far? No, they don't. They had a close game against the Patriots, and they had a close game in week 2 as well. No, they are not. They almost lost the game against the Vikings. They almost lost the game against them too. No, it's no way. It's no way. We are definitely the number 1 team in the NFC. Now, I will say this: the Eagles do have the best rushing defense right now because they've allowed the least amount of rushing yards, but we're only allowing 53 yards a game. So it's not like we're allowing 100 yards. It's not like we're allowing a lot of yards on the ground. So no, ain't no way. And Bosa only has 1 sack, and he's still going to do numbers this year. We had a guy who was a rookie last year who nobody even thought was going to be that good, Drake Jackson, who had 3 sacks in the very first game. Nah, we are definitely the number 1 team in the NFC right now. We've looked the most impressive right now. And the last game we played, Brandon Ayuk didn't even play, and we still won by 18 points. So no, until they look like how we have in the first 3 weeks, no, we're the best team in the NFC. Point blank, period. I'm tired of hearing about these Eagles being the number 1 team in the NFC, and they not mentioning us. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it.
What you got there, Tomo?
I ain't never ever seen you act like this before. You getting buckets. I see you, Dave. Dave said,
"Ladies and gentlemen, we got him."
He was turned up. He said, "No, I thought I was gonna be the only one on here to say this, but it's the 49ers. You gotta believe it's the 49ers. Like the way that they're dominating teams, and I'm giving you said a mile as far as coaching. I'm giving the 49ers the better team by an inch, and the inch is more so their offense. Because if you look at how the 49ers are running their offense, they're averaging 30 points a game, and they're outscoring all of their opponents by like 48 points. And you look at the Eagles, I think it's like 28 or 25 in that ballpark. So their offense is still coming. Is a little shaky start. You know, when birds are trying to fly, you got to kick them out the nest and see if they actually can flap their wings. And that's what's going on with their offense. But their defense, they're in mid-season form as far as the front seven. Secondary is still a little iffy. Of course, they were dealing with injuries, but now they're getting back. They got a rookie starting, so they're trying to figure out if he's actually good on the outside or not. So they're still trying to get some things worked on in their secondary. But you can't say that about the 49ers secondary or their front seven. Their defense is like, look, I said it before on one of these shows. I said they're playing like they're on a mission. And like, look, if you come out here and you think you're going to toy around with us, we're going to put 30 on you. We might put 40 up, and you might only get 10 to 15 points. And that's probably because we don't care anymore at that point in the game. Brock Purdy with their offensive line, of course, their right side is a little shaky, but they're still making things happen. Let's talk about their rush game. The Eagles do have two good running backs, but Christian McCaffrey, you got to fuse Swift and Gainwell together to get CMC. Now, imagine if CMC was running behind that O-line with the Eagles.
My gosh.
Unstoppable. They already creating gaps for Swift and Gainwell, but just imagine what they would do. CMC probably have 15 touchdowns by now in one game. That's how crazy that offensive line is for the Eagles. Now, their defensive line, I got to give them their props. Whatever they said about Jalen Carter is the truth.
It's facts.
It's the truth. Hopefully one day I know these linemen, when they're preparing to play the Eagles, they're probably like, all right, so we can handle Jordan. Brandon Graham, that's 5 plays. Fletcher Cox is probably like another 6 plays. But this kid here, they put him, Jordan Davis. Then you got what's my man, number 7. They keep saying he better than Michael Parsons, but I ain't seen him make a play yet.
Reddick.
I don't know his name because I ain't seen him make a play yet. So I'm talking about him. But when they all in the game, they all show up. N'Kobe Dean, Smith. You can say all these names, but are they Fred Warner? Are they? What's your safety name? Tunga for life.
Tylenol Hufanga.
There you go. I was about to call the boy Tylenol. But yeah, you might as well call him Tylenol because it's a headache when you playing the 49ers, man. It's a headache. So for me, I'm going with the 49ers. The Eagles still have a chance once their offense gets to clicking. But until then, the 49ers have shown up every week and they've beaten all of their opponents. And hopefully they go out there and avenge me because they need to beat the Cardinals because I'm tired of people saying Joshua Dobbs is a Hall of Famer.
Also, I gotta throw this out too. I wasn't able to say this about our game last week, but there are only 3 quarterbacks that have in the first 3 games of the season to throw over 700 yards and 2+ touchdowns in each game. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Brock Purdy. I don't always say a lot about Brock Purdy, but hey, he's doing something that 2 MVPs did and no one else.
Yeah, I think the 49ers offense is on par as good as the defense. They are a really good team, man.
They're playing on the same level.
Yeah, they were last year though. When they got C-Mac, they just took off offensively.
And they winning on the turnover ratio too. I think
he was the miss.
I don't think San Fran turned the ball over yet.
Nope, we haven't. No interceptions, no fumbles.
Look at that.
When y'all got CMC last year, I went live. That's not the Sacramento like to be, and I was like, "It's not fair." I was like, "It's a perfect."
It wasn't because it turned our offense up. He was the missing piece on offense. We had the wide receiver weapons, but we didn't have a dynamic running back, and now we have that.
This man
Debo was happy too. He's like, "Y'all ain't gonna use me as running back. You got one.
You got him. He's still being used though, but
yeah, just not as much because now we can use Elijah like a 3rd down back and not as every down back.
All right, let's get a time on, man. I don't think these 49ers love.
Man, nah, they deserved it. You see my background. I know a lot of people gonna be like, "Come on, man, we got rep for the Cowboys." It's not our week. It's not our week. All right, holla at me on Thursday. We can talk on Thursday. That's when the new week start. But just like a wounded defense, we gotta talk about a wounded quarterback because them Tigers, man, them Bengals, what they doing? Burrow out there limping on one leg. You trying to be? I know Mahomes the best quarterback in the league, but right now they trying to say Burrow trying to do it on one leg.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe, and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.